Yes, so it's your girl, and welcome to another MungalowCroonings show. I'm sure you've seen my story both on Facebook and on Instagram. I had a really good time at the studio. Music does things to me. I don't need to take drugs or anything, I swear. All I need to do is have music in my system and I start to behave like I'm drunk. You know, I just love music. I love what it does for me. And I had a really good time in the studio. Although, part of the reason why I had a really good time was because the night before, I had my TENS machine attached to my back. I was in so much pain. I was twitching like fish that's been taken out of water. And Pam came, she helped me to strap the thing to my back, and I slept with it till the morning, you know. So, sorry, I was supposed to have slept, but I didn't sleep. So, you know, that helped my back a bit because, you know, I had that on throughout, so my back is feeling much better. Excuse me. I'm on. Join. So that's Ronald, you know, one of my co-hosts, Tia and Bablo. So it's luck of the draw today. Fatima, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. I appreciate every single person who tunes in or who watches or anything like that. So I mean, it's just amazing. It's really, really amazing that you guys do this. So today I went to work. I had a early morning seminar to that was part of representing a paper, and it went really well. I was really happy about it, and it seems like more work has come on, so I'm grateful to God for that, because you know, your girl doesn't have a steady job. Doesn't have a 9-to-5 job that is bringing salary. So when I get to work, I'm grateful, because at least it means that something's going to enter my hand, you know. So, but then I actually love my job because I love the impacts in the process of teaching and learning. My mouth hooked just there. So anyways, before I bring my co-host on, okay, Ronald said he's here, so it looks like Ronald is going to be my co-host, because Bablo also said I'm going to try and get on, but anyways, let me give you guys a brief oversight of everything before we now go into discussion. So you know, minding my own business, I went into town because I've got my dressmaking things to finish. I told you guys that I have to finish it. I thought I was going to fail, but my teacher said, kicking or screaming, you're not going to fail. So she told me to get some things to use to prepare and package my file for class and everything. So I went into town. That's how this man, with his wedding ring, very, very prominently, you know, like it's not one of those small wedding rings, it's like the big fat man band on his left hand, you know, the wedding finger. I was like, oh, hello, how are you? I was like, I'm fine, thank you. I was like, oh, you're so pretty. I was like, okay, thank you. It's like, I would like to know you. As what? I'm trying to understand. I'm not I know, I would like to know you because nobody comes on the street and just says, I'd like to know you. So I didn't even respond. I was just looking at him like, okay, what am I supposed to say in response to this? I was like, oh, you know, I like to spend some time with you, hang out with you. And I'm like, I don't understand. As what? He said, oh, we can start off as friends and wherever it takes us to. I was like, hey, Abi Observer. You observer. Because, really? How did you look at me and think that I would be attracted to You, a married man. So I now pointedly looked at his hand like, oh boy, in case you don't know, I'm looking at your hand. I can see your wedding ring. So, of course, I was not looking at his hand. So I was like, oh, it's like, come on, we are both adults here. Uncle, are you okay? Are you alright? So because we are adults, that means what? So basically he was like, oh, he wants to know me more, this one, that one, that one. He wants to, so I was like, look, I'm going off to work. He was like, oh, where do you work? I said, I work at Bolton FM. He was like, oh, give me your number. I was like, nope, I'm sorry, I don't give my number to strangers. He was like, well, I'm trying to make us not to be strangers anymore, blah blah blah. And I was like, I just don't give my number to strangers. I don't know you. And he was like, well, how will you know me then? So basically he was trying to make sure that I gave him my number. That how will I know him if I refuse to give him my number? And I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't do married people. And you know, once a man is married, is already off limits for me. So I'm sorry, you know. So it was like, okay, you work at Bolton FM, no problem. So I now left. I shall went to work. So while I was doing all the videos and putting up the videos for you guys and everything, the landline rang. So I now picked it up because I'm in the second studio. So most of the time when the landline rings, it's usually for the first studio. So I was like, oh, Bolton FM, sorry, this is studio 2. If you need studio 1, you need to call this number. So I was like, oh, no, it's me, such and such. This is Abi, right? Because I told him my name. I was like, yeah, who's this? I was like, oh, it's the guy that met you outside earlier today and blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't recall. It was like, no, we met today. You refused to give me your number and this and he kept saying everything to make me remember, and I kept saying I don't recall. Because I was just like, I have nothing to say to you, so I just going, I don't recall. It was like, but I don't recall. When the man got tired, he was like, okay, I'll give you a call another time. I was like, so no, this I'll call there tomorrow and see whether you see me. So anyways, so I now started speaking to Ifeanyi, and I say, Ifeanyi, hi, thank you so much for watching. Ronald, I'm about to bring you on. Let me bring you on because you're the only one. Let me add you. So I was speaking to Ronald, and also to, he's saying no answer from you. Ronald is saying no answer from me. So I was speaking to Bablo and to Sheon and to Ronald about, you know, what we're talking about today. So I was like, wait, what is, so Ronald was actually the one who actually said, what is the value of a wedding ring if you are going to wear it and still misbehave? So I was like, yes, that is a really good topic, because if you are going to misbehave with your wedding ring, then what is the point? Don't bother. Just because I don't understand how you can wear something that is a symbol of commitment, and just be like, well, adultery is for adults. Like, seriously, who does that? So I'm trying to bring Ronald on. Okay, I'm adding you, you know, grill. I don't know what's going on. He's saying that you Ronald, can you go out and then come back in? Okay, you're sending in a request. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Anyways, please, I don't want people just sitting down and watching. I want you to, Ifeanyi, tell us what your views are. What is the value of a wedding ring? Fatima, please share your views. Other people who haven't come on but are watching, please share your views with us. What do you think the value of a wedding ring is? Is the value of a wedding ring now the same as it was in the time of our parents? Because a lot of our parents, well, my dad never wore a wedding ring. I never saw a wedding ring on his hand. My mom wore a wedding ring. Did she? Wait, let me try and remember. She had her wedding ring, but she didn't wear it. My mom had a wedding. So my parents didn't wear their wedding rings. My mom had a wedding ring, but she didn't wear it. My dad, I never saw his wedding ring, so I don't even know whether he had one. But they, and before he became born again, oh, the man did things, you know. He was a full-blooded man, and he did things. Life to Christ, he changed. That one I know for a fact. Um, of course, the average Nigerian woman will never even, you know, especially in our mother's days, they wouldn't even dream of, you know, misbehaving. So, Aga, you're welcome to the show.
Hello.
Is it cold over there in South Africa?
Yeah, it is.
This one that you're dressed like Eskimo. Meanwhile, it's summertime. Hey,
Really,
hey,
I really envy you guys.
I beg,
Guys.
it's summertime. I went out today. I had my sunglasses on, and I was out and about in the sun, feeling cool, making life, enjoying life, rocking it. I mean, I dressed like a penguin.
And you wonder why they were scoping you.
I beg you. I beg you. I was dressed for the boys. I wasn't dressed for the married men. Please.
It might be a young guy now.
No, he had white hair everywhere. That was the other thing that annoyed me because I'm sorry, I'm ageist. I don't do older men. Once you have white in your hair or beard, Bafana, Ojoro Council, I'm not doing. That's it. Give me a young blood, you know, give me a young blood. So like, look at this Babao. Look at it. If I just remove my top alone, you will faint.
Why?
Baba, can you withstand the things that I beg you?
I don't want to sound like an enabler, but it's a good sign when they're chasing you now.
Please, I
It's
don't
a
want
good
them to
thing.
chase me. I don't want married men to chase me. I'm not interested in married men
No,
chasing
no,
me.
no, no, no. It's still he's still a human being. I'm not saying it's meant for married men. I'm just saying that he's a human being, and see, it's a
Please,
good sign.
married men
Please,
should stay in their lane, especially old married men who cannot cope with the juice box. You know, as the song says, this milkshake brings the boys to the yard. Boys to the
have you, have you,
It's the boys to the yard, they're not married cock women. No old men that their wife will be like, daddy. They'll be like, I beg you. No.
and I'm sure the guy had very high hopes.
In fact, I was just looking at him like, at the point, I was just looking at his hand like, oh, Benny, I can see your wedding ring. And I was just
Well,
like,
in fact, thank God you brought it up today because that's the question. Before I got married,
before
part
you
of
go
the
on,
condition.
Olika, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Hi. Mariam Sambo, thank you so much for watching. Okay, continue.
Yeah, before I got married, this is something my wife already knew. I personally don't like jewelries. I don't want to even bring it to a religious point now.
Okay.
Let's talk about me as a person.
Yeah.
So my mom used to tell me that when I was like a baby, like a toddler baby, she sold all these gold chains and all that. So she put them on me. For some reason, before she turns back to look at me, I'm already taking them off. So right from day one, when I was just...
Hey, South Africa, don't film me now. South Africa, don't fail me. I'll hook my friend. Run, yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Yes. Continue.
Okay, so I was like, I've never really liked jewelry. So my wife, that's my wife, now then knew that it was, well, it was not going to happen. I wasn't going to wear a ring after our wedding. And luckily for me, the church we attended then, Redeemed, they didn't marry couples with wedding
Okay, so
rings.
you guys were part of the, which one is it? Model. Which one is the old school one?
I would say the pastor at that time was um class. Is it not model and classic?
Classical. You guys
Uh,
were classical.
uh, so I think the pastor was more or less like classical because even he and his wife didn't wear rings. So in fact, the day we got married, we just changed Bibles. Most of the churches I've attended were always Bible things. They don't use rings because it's really not scriptural to wear these things. So growing up, all the people, all the yeye people, yeye uncles, yeye old men
I'm
I
so
met.
sorry. My mother is watching. Hi, mommy. Mwah, mwah. Please, can you put in the comments? Did you used to wear a wedding ring? I can't remember. Can you write whether you used to wear a wedding ring? I know Daddy didn't used to wear, but I can't remember whether you used to wear a wedding ring. Sorry, no vex. I saw my mama.
Yes, now. So, like I was saying, all the older men I knew who were always sending me, like, oh yeah, take this letter and go and give that girl. And as she come out, me, I used to be a messenger boy when I was in my teen days. I made a lot of money from doing those kind of courier services. Like I'll just be standing there like, that girl in your compound, take this letter, go and give. They all had wedding rings. Like all of them, they all had wedding rings. So even at a very young age, I already understood that this thing was just a facade. It was like a scam. More or less, it's a fashion statement. I have never seen where a wedding ring stopped somebody from doing what he wanted to do. On the flip side, I had gone like 2 years in marriage without a wedding ring. So my wife was trying to, convince me to try it. I just said, okay, let me just see what happens. I went for 2 days, just 2 days, only 2 days. I don't want to sound, I don't want to, please, people watching, I'm not that kind of person, okay? I don't want to sound full of myself or anything. I know what's in my eyes see, just 2 days.
Not 2 days. Now that they chase you.
Not 3 days or 2 days. And because I look robust with pot belly,
So they
so
take
one day,
plenty money.
I had to ask one of them. I had to humble myself to ask one of them, like, please, really explain this thing to me. I think I'm smart sometimes, but I really don't know everything. Can you tell me why it is that single girls always chase guys with wedding bands or people they see as married men, is married. They say, yeah, that married guys tend to understand women better and they are more, how would they put it? They take care of females better than single guys. I said, where did these statistics come from? Like, how did you guys conclude this? Was this a government funded research or something I don't know? And immediately she told me that, and I started flashing back. I started remembering all the year grown-ups I used to know were always married men. They were always, in fact, when you see a single guy above 40 back then, you knew that either he was a pastor that was always praying or something, or I don't know.
Or
But
he
it was
was a
always
philanderer.
not philanderer, okay. So that is when you were screaming wedding ring, wedding band, I was just laughing. I was like, Abi is just coming to reality. All those things don't matter.
Now let me explain something, because on this show I always try to be honest. Now, have I ever been attracted to a man? Because one thing with me, I always respect the band. So when I see the wedding ring, automatically, boom, is gone. But have I met married men who weren't wearing a band and I was attracted, and in the process of talking, I realized that they are married? Of course, because they were there. I thought they were available, and then I found out that they're married. And like, I've been in a situation where I've known a guy, we've been very good friends, very good friends. Like, in fact, my gist partner, everything, suddenly goes to get married. I, I purposely make sure that I keep away from such friends because,
Okay.
you know, that familiarity, that's now he has brought another entity into the mix. And I don't want, and you know how we women are, because even if they tell you over and over, we are just friends, there's nothing. But because of the way you relate, like, hey, big head, come on, go and sit down there. Like, hey, imagine she's calling my husband big heads. Imagine the disrespect. Next thing, she go begin vex for you. And as you see me, the only mouth I get, I don't sabi how to fight. I don't know how to fight. I only have mouth. I can talk my way out of any situation, but I can't fight. So I try and avoid anything. And you know, like a lot, now I'm only going with Nigerian women. A lot of Nigerian women, once they hear, yeah, we did, yeah, so person is with my husband, they don't even want to know whether that's the secretary, it's somebody he just bumped into in the street or whatever. Next thing, they are ripping off your wig, fighting you, punching you, tearing off your clothes. What?
But you see, you also need to understand certain things. You need to understand certain things. For instance, when you decide to take a marital vow or whatever, okay, let's look at it from two ways. Let's look at it from scriptural and the ordinary part.
Okay.
If you decide to marry according to how the scripture says you should marry, that's traditionally. Even Yoruba culture or Igbo culture, they're not giving you rings, or any African culture. You're just doing the marriage rites between the two families, right? Now you're making the commitment and vow between you, the family, your wife's family, and God. Okay. Personally, I think that should be enough.
I'm not interested in a white wedding. I've always said it. I think we've had this discussion. Not interested.
No. The truth is that white weddings are really not scriptural. Yes, we know.
I'm not even talking scriptural or not scriptural. It's never appealed to me in any way, shape, or form.
It's a waste. It's an avenue for conspicuous consumption.
It's not even that. You see the whole stress of it's my day. Oh, the wedding, the flowers, the hall, you see, because your girl's been engaged 4 times, yeah. Again, I will always be honest, and at least 2 of those engagements collapsed because oh God, the gown, I don't do again. Like the pressure of, you know, people come and ask you for opinion about this. What flowers do you want? What do I care? Flower now flower. After that, after the 40 minutes of walking up and exchanging vows, because I've actually timed it, it takes roughly about 40 minutes. After 40 minutes of walking up that place, exchanging vows, what is the point? Finish.
Yeah, but the funny thing in all this whole process is that what people don't realize is that you've just succeeded in wasting your time, because even physically, the moment you do your traditional wedding rites,
you're married.
You're married automatically.
You will see some people that do traditional church, then they'll go to court again.
Court.
Like signs still delivered.
No, I can permit the court one. I can permit the court one in the sense that most people claim they want to collect certificates. That's why they go to the court. Okay, we need a certificate to give to the state. Okay, so okay, I might.
Customary gift certificate too. Traditional wedding.
But they always want to feel like they can do this one in the presence of a legal form. Okay. So I might, because remember when you're going to court, you're only asked to come with one witness each, you know. From the female side, one witness. From the male side, one witness. So, okay, fine. It's not expensive. It's not wasteful. Just show up, you know, do what they tell you to do, and you go. But what I don't understand is that you're going to borrow money for that white wedding. You're going to borrow a lot of money. You're going to invite people you know don't like you. You know they don't like you. You know they hate you. You're still going to invite them. You're going to invite people
that you owe money on top.
You're going to invite people that you've never seen before or know you. At the end of the day, when you said, why are you doing all this? They say, if the more people who come, the more money I get from wedding gifts and Ashebri revenue. Now, the thing is, how many people has all this crowd, like all this mega fairy tale wedding, secured their marriages? We see this on Channel E all the time. One celebrity is wedding every single day, and they are divorced. As they're wedding, another one is divorcing after 6 months, after 3 months, after 1 year, after 2 years. Then they try to trivialize this whole process. Then I'm like, okay, why are you still doing this? Why can't you just marry and move into your house?
So much focus on that one day that they completely forget about the lifetime that they're meant to spend together.
Then you go and drink Gary the next day.
Because let me tell you what made me really anathema to any kind of excessive spending. My mother is watching, so she's going to laugh. I grew up believing I was born 25th of December. Because I was born on the 22nd, right? Well, I believed I was born on 25th because they're like, you and Jesus share the same birthday, right? So Christmas Day, I will get one present. They were doing me wayo, using the name of Jesus to do me wayo. So when I turned 10, I now found out that my birthday was not the 25th of December. So I was insistent that I was going to do that birthday. And as of that time, things are starting to get tight in Nigeria, and things are starting to get tight to my parents. But my dad couldn't refuse me, you know. And I was insistent that I must do that birthday. Everybody, there is anybody must come to the birthday party. My dad's cousin asked me what I wanted. I wanted a purple tracksuit with pink high heel shoes, which my dad did not like because he didn't want me to wear high heel shoes. Deeper life now. So this party, hey, we must do it. So of course my mother organized everything, the whole Bobo Tigbo, everybody came, they ate, we had cake, it was great and all of that. I got presents, everybody left. Now to eat dinner. Let's see, is there jollof rice? Finished. Jollof rice is finished. Okay, fried rice, unko, finished. Every food that was made, finished. Okay, is there anything inside the house? We were so busy preparing for this birthday, we didn't buy any food into the house. That night of my birthday, we drank gari with chicken leg. Not chicken thigh, not chicken thigh, the leg. My dad, as we were eating, I was crying. My dad now said, you see, you wanted everybody to come and eat with you. They have eaten your food, gone home. Look at what you that you now insisted. Look at what you are eating. And from that day, I was like, nah, fam, I don't see the point. I mean, of course, I still did a few, but like my 21st, I had a party, but it was very much on my terms and it was very much my friends. The only person that was there that I didn't really want there was my fiance at the time. My fiance at the time, because I was so mad at him, I didn't even want him there, Sam. So my 21st, then my 30th. And of course, I'm going to be celebrating my next birthday because it's a big number. So, all that feferity, I love a good party, but I just don't see the point in
because I have, I have been bridesmaids to so many brides. Or if I'm not a bridesmaid, they put me on guard duty, which was something I didn't even know was a thing at weddings. But apparently, and this I have done it at least 4 times. This is to protect the bride from the aunties and the mummies who somehow, and usually from the groom's side, who want to come and use the brides to post to their friends that, oh, see the girl that my son married, I can ask her to do anything and she will do it. So they will now want to call the bride from the high chair that she's sitting to come and be serving rice. My friend hasn't gotten food. Oh yeah, come and organize it. So my friends, at least 4 different friends, have actually contracted me at their wedding to stand and be like, mommy, she's busy, what do you need? Okay, so and so, go and help mommy do it. So that
defender of the universe.
So like defender, because in a funny way, I had a way of being able to be firm but still be like, hey mommy, that kind of thing. But no, you're not getting her, it's not happening. So that happened. There was one that the mother was like, do you know who I am? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, mommy, on your wedding, on your wedding day. No, I just said to her, I said, mommy, on your wedding day, were you being asked to go and serve food? She just looked at me like, what? I said,
she didn't even lie. She didn't even lie to you. She'll tell you she was pounding fufu in the morning.
No, she just looked at me like, I know this particular mom was high society. In fact, I will not lie to you, my legs were shaking under my wrapper that, hey, if they throw me inside prison today because of wedding. But I was like, Mom, today is her day. She needs to be exactly where she is right now, beside her husband. So I will get you any number of girls to help you. But please, she can't come down from that. And she grumbled and she talked and she shook her big body off and vexed. You know this is like mamas now. And she was shaking and vibrating as she was going. But funny enough, she still sent me a gift.
Maybe she's one of those.
That girl, I wanted to give this wrapper to that girl.
Maybe she's one of those people who appreciates principled people.
I don't know, but after that one, I was like, I beg, I don't do it again before they go carry me, put inside prison. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do one day. The mother will be like, oh, who do you think you are? Hey, army officers, pick her up, put her in prison. Please, oh, mommy, please don't be offended. But apart from that, what I noticed with so many brides was that they were stressed. Your wedding day is supposed to be your happiest day. It's the day you're supposed to be the most relaxed. That is the day you're marrying the love of your life. You're supposed to be basking in that love and romance, and yet they are so stressed. And when you find out what they're stressed about, the minuscule things that they're stressed about, or they said that the flowers haven't gotten to the church yet, or they said that the vicar can't find his cassock, they said this one, and you're like, and some have actually busted into tears on their wedding day. Why?
Let me take you on a journey.
Okay.
Like 4 months back, I was on Facebook. I was just browsing through. Then I saw a program called Crow at Dawn. Somebody had posted a full episode of Crow at Dawn. So I was like, okay, let me watch. So I'm now watching this thing.
For those of you who are not Nigerians, Crow at Dawn is a program that we grew up with, and it was such a good program. So yeah, nostalgia.
So I decided to watch just one episode from that series. So I was watching it. So I just realized how the character, I've forgotten his name now. He came back from work. He was just holding this briefcase. He came back from work. The TV was switched off, right? So he came in. The wife took the briefcase and told him to go shower, have a bath. Then he came back. Then they put his supper. Then he ate. Then they switched on the TV. And after watching the TV, at a certain time, he decided to go and sleep and all that. And, you know, they were showing other things. And I was just thinking, I just said, do you know that life was a lot more simpler? Like, people lived longer because of this simple life. Now I'm thinking about today. Let me tell you what we are doing to ourselves today.
Okay.
You wake up. Sometimes you remember to go pray to Jehovah or God. You sometimes you remember to pray. Sometimes you carry your phones. You start looking into celebrity news, latest news. You spend the next 1 hour. Then you remember that you need to go to work. Then you go and hurriedly shower. Then maybe if you're traveling by bus or public transport, you're still checking social media and all that. Then you're reading emails from work. Your boss is sending you messages on your phones. You get to work, the same vicious cycle and all that. You're electronically overwhelmed. Then on top of that, you still have to watch cable. You still want to watch your series. Then somebody will tell you that a movie just came out of the cinema. Then you need to go and watch it on the big screen and all that. On top of all this, we've introduced more celebrations because while we're growing up, the major celebrations were just Christmas and Easter. So along the line in the 80s, Valentine grew from...
Valentine joined.
It grew from...
I hate that Valentine's Day.
From love letters, from mere love letters between innocent lovers to a major event. Then came in the last 10 years, they've been sneaking in, what's the name of it? Halloween.
Oh, Halloween has come in. Then, of course, all the fathers, because there wasn't really Father's or Mother's Day. There wasn't a Children's Day too has joined.
Wait, no, there was Children's Day. There's always been Children's Day.
Oh, yes, Children's Day has always been, but there was no Mother or Father's Day. I don't remember growing up with Mother or Father's Day.
Then there was Workers' Days. Then they introduced Women's Day. Then, while we're still thinking about, they introduced it now, Women's Day. Then while it was Women's Day, then we found out that there's Mother's Day. Now, this is where it becomes confusing. There are two versions of Mother's Day, depending on which one.
America or British one.
So there are two Mother's Days. Then they compensated us fathers and brought in Father's Day too. So, in the midst of all this confusion, while we're still trying to understand why we must remember so many dates and frivolities, then they said, okay, it's like these people, there's one date I'm trying to remember now. Wait. Very important date. I'm coming. I'll remember just...
okay, while you're thinking about it, let me quickly say, hello, Sheol Bablo. Thank you so much for watching. Please put your comments. Don't just watch, comment, join us in the conversation. Sonia, thank you so much for watching. And she said, this is fun. She actually wrote, this is fun. Thank you so much. Please put more comments. Tell us your views about the wedding ring. Is it of any value? Should people bother to wear it? If you wear it, what are the expectations? All that stuff. So join us, please, in the conversation. Continue.
Okay, yeah, I remember now. So while we're still trying to have a grasp of what's going on, then bridal shower came in. From nowhere. Nobody just saw that coming. No, that's minus engagement. So bridal shower came in. Then we're like, what is bridal shower? They say the girl that wants to marry, they'll do bridal shower.
There's bachelor's eve. There's bachelor's eve. There's baby shower. Gender reveal.
Yeah, there's baby shower too.
Then there's gender reveal. There's gender reveal. That's different from baby shower.
Oh, they've separated it now.
Well, I thought they were separate. I didn't know that they were together.
No, same day.
Baby so shower. Gender reveal and baby shower is the same day.
Yeah, same day. Baby shower. Then after baby shower, bridal shower, baby shower. Then bachelor's party. Then the women's spinsters party. And I'm like,
Spencer's party, isn't it the same as the bridal shower?
No.
Oh, Book Chris, thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for watching. She said gender reveal first before baby shower. I told you that it was separate.
Okay. See,
I knew what I was talking about.
You see.
Gender reveal before baby shower.
I didn't even know that. Okay, so then they'll have a bridal shower. Then you have the version of bachelor's party. That's the Spencer's party. Remember that bridal shower takes place during the afternoon, daytime. They still have the Spencer's one. They do at nights to the. I'm like, how do we cope
the one that we get the boys in where they come to the club.
Exactly. So how do we cope with all this? Now, think about all I've just said and flashback to that Cockroach down moment I had.
Yeah, but technology has moved on. Remember in the time of Cockroach Dawn, you had to go to a box in the middle of nowhere with a card to make a call to England when you're in Nigeria, and all of us we had landlines. If you were not at home, you couldn't take a call. So and we only wrote letters or telegrams. We didn't send emails because there was nothing like that. So of course technology has moved the world faster, and we are trying to catch up.
Okay, back in the days, if you are attending a by force church, you know what a by force church is. You really don't want to go to the church, but you have some attachments to that church. Either it's your family church or sentimental attachment. Maybe your wife dragged you there. You know, just the church you don't want to go, but you really have to go just to please people. You know, back then you could just say, "Oh, this Sunday I'm not going," then just take a nap. You know, no more. You don't have that liberty anymore. While you're sleeping, they'll send you a link to watch them on YouTube. Now you must watch them, and they must see the YouTube counts to show that you were watching the church sermon. Then on top of that, the church is even on TV. They have a TV station. Where do you escape to? You have there's nowhere to run. Technology
when I was growing up, in one building, the top would be Foursquare, the middle floor will be Assemblies of God, the bottom floor will be Redeemed Christian. And all of them are shouting loudspeaker in one Sunday.
But that's not a strange thing. You're not allowed to attend it. If you belong to one, you're not allowed to.
If you were coming to church, I have actually seen where someone is trying to go into a church. They're obviously coming to church for the first time. And ushers from the three churches are dragging the person. No, it's our church.
Yes.
No, come to our church. No, come to
Just like Yaba Market. You remember Yaba Market?
I'm not going to church again. I'm going home. Thank you. Bukri said, okay, the gender reveal happens before the baby shower so that people coming to the baby shower will know the sex of the baby. So, of course, because baby showers is when they bring gifts for the baby, so they can bring it in the color of the gender. Well, I mean, now gender is fluid and is non-binary and all of that, according to. So,
no. You know, there's a difference between sex and gender.
I don't understand it completely, and I don't like to talk about things I don't understand completely. So I would rather not go into that conversation. Then Book Chris also said, yes, going to church to fulfill all righteousness, the by force church. Yeah. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I only want to talk about things that I know that I have at least 80% grasp of. But if I'm only operating on 40%, 50%, I'll rather just let it be, because then I'm going to sound ignorant, you know, and I'll rather just privately learn than be on a live platform and be yanning okpata. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why but anyways, she said that people coming to the baby shower will know the sex or the gender of the baby. So that's why one happens before the other. Well, this is the thing. I will never understand, because I know that thinking back and trying to rack through my brain, a lot of my contemporaries growing up, our parents didn't wear wedding rings. They didn't wear it. Both mothers and fathers, they didn't wear wedding rings. And yet, you know, like my parents were together for 30 years. I have my best friend, her parents have been together maybe 45 years or something, you know, and these people stick together, and you know, and then you see people who, I mean, I'm sure you've seen on social media where a guy will kneel down and propose and say, oh, I love you and everything, please be my wife, and he'll present the ring, and the girl will be like, what is this, what you're giving me? Really, this piece of crap, this is what you're giving me as an engagement ring? How dare you? And she'll use it and stone his face and stomp off.
Yeah.
And you get that, or you get the one she goes, oh my God, I love you, yes, I'll marry you. Then her friends will not be like, really, they'll not be bringing magnifying glass. Is that the, where's the diamond? I'm like, why are we doing this? Why, especially when you don't even really give much value to that ring? Because I used to, when I was growing up, I used to look at wedding rings as a shackle. I don't know where I got that idea from, but in my head, it was like once you had a wedding ring on, it was like a clink clink kind of thing. It was a shackle that you couldn't get out of. But these days, man, this thing is not a shackle, it's a revolving door. You're just going in, coming out, going. Because I don't understand. Why bother to wear a wedding ring if you're not going to honor the vows you took while you got the wedding ring? I don't get it.
Yeah, because you're making a vow to the ring, not to the person or to God. You're making the vow to the ring. The ring
No,
can
but
be
if it's
thrown
a
away
vow
at
to
any
the ring,
time.
then that's why you would actually keep your vows, I think.
Why will I respect an inanimate object? Why?
I don't know. But I'm just gonna say I was pretty shocked. As I said, in all honesty, have I been attracted to married men? Of course, I have been. I'm a human being. When a man is well put together, he looks nice, he looks fresh, he looks like he has extra change in his pockets. You're going to see him and go, But me, when I see that wedding ring, I'm like, I go, because I don't know, maybe because I'm trying to think about what informed my decision like that. I honestly cannot say this is the one singular event that made me go, you know what? I am going to respect, you know, someone's symbol of marriage. I'm going to respect it. So it baffles me when I'm the outsider, I'm respecting your symbol, and you who is wearing this symbol is going, disrespect me, Joe.
Mr. Macaroni.
Like, are you for real? How? I don't know.
Well, you remember our last topic, 2 weeks ago topic, when we keep saying, the more you keep trying to modernize and adulterate what came before us, the more we get things complicated and the more confused we get. That's just bitter truth.
I don't totally agree, because our parents, their lives that we look at as, say, the good old days, was actually a modernization of their own parents. Because someone like my mother, she's not going to say anything, but she's on. And before I continue, I just want to say, Bookie, she said, yes, you're right about ushers kind of acting, dragging you to come to church. Can marriage be like our Mother's Day from I love you to baby naming ceremonies? The thing is, because if I remember the way my grandmother grew up in the village. She didn't grow up in the city at all, right? She had a farm. My mother and her sisters and her brother, they did whatever they could to support, you know, and it was very much, you know, like what we watch in Nollywood now when they're sitting in a proper village. That's what it was. My mom was just lucky that her cousin happened to be an ambassador and decided to take her with him to the UK, which is where she now came and lived till she met my dad and they got married and all that stuff. But technically, in the real aspects, my grandmother, my mother's life, she would be looking at my mother's life and going, what's going on? Because in her day, there were no telephones at all. But my mother grew up having a telephone in her house. You understand what I'm saying? If you wanted to send a message in my grandmother's time, you would tell somebody who would go on a long journey to go and deliver the message in person. But in my mother's time, you sent a letter, lick a stamp, put it on the envelope, it got there. So can you see how my grandmother will be looking at my mother's life going, hey, what is all this? This is all too fast. This life is too fast. And now my mother's looking at my life going, what's going on? And even my contemporaries who have children are looking at their children and wondering, what's going on? These children are so, like, I mean, I think you were the one who was telling me that, give a 1-year-old an iPhone. Figured it out. Give me an iPhone. I'm like, no, thank you. You know? So I think with each generation, with the modernities and the technology and everything that's coming, things are going to be, the only thing that worries me is we are struggling to catch up, even now, as we are struggling to catch up. I am struggling. Okay, maybe I should speak only for myself. I am struggling to catch up with technology. I'm struggling. So 2 generations down, what is it going to look like? And that scares me.
Well, I think
I
think at the end of the day, something has got to give. We'll get to a point whereby we'll hit the reset button, because we can't just keep going in that projection.
Booker said, yes, my grandmom will send my uncle from the village to deliver a message to my mom. Thank God for technology. You see what I'm saying? So you can imagine, there was a time when it was even pigeons. You will send pigeons. Or you kept your message till you saw the person. Even if it took a year, you hold your message and wait.
No,
and now,
like before the 19th century, people living far away, at least, like if someone was going to lose his or her parents, the parents would have died like 2 weeks earlier before the message gets to you, like, oh,
2 weeks.
I just came to tell you that,
months.
you know, that kind of. No, back then they had rail lines. Now, I mean, they had rail lines that's from maybe Ogbomosho to.
Oh, you're talking my grandmother's.
No, even before a time like 18 something, there were still railway lines to Kano. People living in Kano, Jos, and all that. So you know that kind of a thing, you know.
Booker said, "Ekene message." Bookers, don't kill me, I beg. Ekene means pigeon. It's a pigeon message. I don't know, but
now everything
I'm
is
not gonna lie.
Everything is instant now. Everything is real time.
Remember when you would, but you know what? You're sort of right, because I remember growing up with my dad's cousins, and they loved to take coffee in the morning. For the amount of people who drank tea and coffee around me, I don't know why I don't like coffee or tea. But anyways, they love to drink coffee in the morning. But of course, coffee came in the beans.
Yeah.
And then they would pour it into this thing that you had to use your hand to roll like this, to crush it, before you now pour it into the thing. And then you use a net to sort of sieve it to get the coffee. And then coffee became instant. But now people are going back to the coffee beans again.
That was too much effort for just a cup of coffee.
Oh, but people are going
Wait,
back to beans now.
yeah,
Only that there's a machine that grinds it and does all of that.
yeah.
But
To me, they all taste the same.
nah, I've tasted coffee made from beans and instant coffee. Nah, they're not the same. They
No,
are
no,
not.
I'm not a coffee person. I'm just
I'm not a
saying.
coffee person, but I know the taste. Like there's a kind of je ne sais quoi to ground
Mm-hmm.
coffee beans that you cannot find in
Mm-hmm.
instant coffee. Instant coffee is a travesty. It's an insult on coffee. Pa! I spit on it.
Maybe I'll try it. Maybe there's a coffee shop near my house. I'll try it out tomorrow and
Nah,
ask
go
them.
and try it. You see the difference. You'll be
Yeah,
like, wow, woo.
I'll like, oh, Abby asked me to try this out. Can you give me a ground
You know what? If
coffee?
you really want to try coffee that's going to blow your mind, try and
Mm.
find an Ethiopian coffee house where they serve original Ethiopian coffee, the original Ethiopian way. I went to see
Okay.
my second cousin, and their neighbors were Ethiopian, and they invited us over for coffee. And me, I was like, I don't like coffee. Oh. Bruh, I drank 3 cups, and we still didn't sleep. Oh, no, we fell asleep. We fell asleep after we drank the coffee. We thought that our eyes would be like this, all of us. We all slept
But
off.
no, does it mean that there's no caffeine in it?
I don't know,
What?
but there's a leaf that they put in the coffee. There's a whole ceremony that goes with it. They grind it in a
Is there
particular way.
cinnamon
Then
in it? Do they put cinnamon in it? In them
no.
cinnamon?
There is a leaf.
Okay.
Is a leaf where it has a scent, and it
Okay.
changes the taste, and it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I actually went to Aldi, and I went and bought Ethiopian coffee grinds at Aldi, and I went and got a percolator. I drank coffee twice from it, and I was like, this is not my lifestyle.
Yeah, but I have friends who drink it like a ritual. They say without this they can't go to work. They drink it. It's a ritual for them. They must.
It's actually
They,
it's not very good for the
every
system.
morning.
Coffee isn't good for the system.
Yeah, I always thought so because there's so much caffeine in it.
I mean, it's not my thing. I drink mainly water. If I really have to take anything, maybe I'll take orange juice. I don't take soda. I don't take any of that. So not my thing. But let's
Me,
circle
just
back
water.
so that we can then round off. So let's circle back. So now that we've looked at the whole thing about people just wearing wedding rings for the sake of wearing wedding rings. So should people like me, who have always given importance to wedding rings, because for me, I felt it was a thing that once you wore, put a barrier on yourself from doing certain things. But growing up, I've realized that there's no barrier. In fact, as I said, it's like a revolving door, right? It's like that ring gives you the revolving door access to all kinds of people. You can have a yellow girl in the morning, a black girl in the evening, fat one tomorrow, thin one next tomorrow. It's like it's a revolving door. So, and then this man, obviously married, wearing his ring and having no qualms about saying, hey, what's up? So should I then change my view? But how do you recognize a married man? Because
what do
that's
you mean
the other thing. No, because
he should act like.
No, but that's the thing.
Like
When you meet some men, there's nothing to indicate that they're married. They'll take you to their house, no wife there, nothing. They're very much like young, free, that kind of stuff. And then you are.
The real question is, why must you sleep with somebody you don't even know?
No,
that's the real question.
Sleeping. I'm not talking about having sex now.
I mean the whole emotional, romantic journey, why would you involve yourself with somebody you don't even know?
What do you mean? Why would you involve yourself with someone you don't know? You are thinking of, you want to start a relationship, so you start off with friendship, you go to the cinema, everything. There's nothing to indicate that this guy is married.
That's the more reason why you should be curious. You need to know who it is. People are not who they seem. Do you understand? You need to know who he is. You don't just because somebody opened the door for you.
You will even meet some people. You will meet their family, and their family will never tell you that he's married though. They will never tell you.
Girl so female or male?
My potential in-laws. Meanwhile, your in-laws are already somebody else's in-law.
Well, okay, yeah. There are instances maybe he's having issues with his wife, and the family takes sides with him. Then they're like, go get another wife. No. I beg, we are dismissing this one. But
they don't tell the so-called potential other wife that she's a potential other wife. She's thinking she's the only one.
They don't want to scare you.
Yeah. And they think that I find out I won't be scared. Okay.
Okay. Bukri is telling something about her dad's message. Can you see it?
Oh, okay. Wait. Let me read. Bukri said. Oh, wait. This thing is doing that nonsense thing again. She said, okay, I remember when my granddad died. Imagine the village people have to send some elders with the king's scepter, so that my dad's boss then, who happened to be the governor, will know how important it is for my dad to come right away. So sometimes the old means of communication makes sense, because I believe the governor was able to release my dad then be more... I'm sorry, I can't... My contacts are dry. I can't read it. Can you read it?
Okay, let me read it. Yeah, the governor was able to release my dad then by mere swing of the elders of the village, with them holding the scepter.
I'm sorry, my contacts are dry, so I can't see properly anymore.
No, actually, she meant it was a typo. Okay, so that's the importance of going back to what Bukris is saying. Is the importance of symbology, like symbols. When you see that, just like ring that we're discussing now.
Yes.
They were also those days too. Even in English culture, there are certain issues that will require for the king or the ruling monarch to remove. There's this special ring you remove and
use it to sign something.
Not even the stamping or anything. Just okay. When he sees this, he will know where it's coming from. And that gives it top priorities, like when they write urgent in letters today, or how they write top secret or whatever. That validates the importance of that message. Yeah, these symbols have always been in place, but wedding rings are still relatively new. They're about 200 years old, or 100 or something. They are not really. They became popular after the Second World War. Although we can trace the origin back to Egypt.
But back to my question, how does someone like me recognize a man who is not wearing his wedding ring, but recognize him as married?
Investigate social media accounts, everything. Bob, go ahead.
FBI.
If you're on social media, run away.
If I can't find you on social media,
no, just run away. You can't. Okay, even if you can't find him on social media, he should be on LinkedIn at least. A serious-minded businessman, he should be on LinkedIn. Okay, I understand people don't like social media. Instagram, LinkedIn, it should be in one of those. If it's not there, then you should be worried. I'm not saying the person is bad or shady,
but maybe there's something not completely kosher about that person.
No, it's a cue for you to start investigating.
Man.
When you don't see him, then
this single life, it looks like it's a permanent, Because
God forbid.
no, seriously, because this is the thing. I used to believe very much in people matchmaking. Like somebody saying, oh, meet my friend, he's a really cool guy. Then everybody started saying, I don't want to matchmake people, though, because when they now break up, they say it's me that brought them together. So every time you ask your friends, do you know any single person, that kind of thing? I don't know anybody, I only have married friends. Suddenly, you got married last week, and now the only people you know are married people. Okay, no problem. So then you go to social media, and of course, you on all these dating sites, they are red light district online. Because I'm telling you, I have been on many dating sites where somebody will be like, hi. I'll be like, oh, hello, how are you? So what are you up to? Well, I'm lying down naked thinking about your body. Eh? Block. I beg you. Block it. Thank you very much. You know, like, are you serious?
But the question is,
to even meet anybody now, they add COVID join. Because now you can't just meet somebody now and be like, oh, let's go, kinika. You have to carry test, do test, you do test, we have 10 minutes.
But Abi, let me ask you, why is that modern women always run away from matchmaking?
I'm not running away from matchmaking. I've never found anyone willing to matchmake me. Or people, this is the other thing that annoys me about matchmaking. You see someone say, oh, don't worry, I know one correct guy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not saying I'm all that, but I have a certain level of sophistication, certain level of education, certain level of, you know, financial status. I'm not rich, but I'm not dirt poor either. I used to be dirt poor. We thank the Lord has elevated us small. Then you will now go and bring one guy that I'll be like, do you even, it's not even a matter of do you know me? Do you like me? Madam Matchmaker, do you, or Mr. Matchmaker, do you like me at all? That this is the person you looked at and said, this person will fit Abi. How? Nothing in common. We have no common ground. Nothing.
Abi, it doesn't matter how much your friend. Wait, let's get something right. It doesn't matter how much somebody you know, or your acquaintances, or your friends know you, or even your relatives know you. They still don't know Abi 100%.
Of course.
That's just the truth. There are enormous things you don't share with people. There are desires you have. Nobody knows. It's just you. Do you understand? Now, when a matchmaker comes, it's only going by what he thinks. What he thinks that, oh, okay, Abi might like. He's not knowing you 100%. He's just hoping that there might be a spark somewhere. Remember,
there are some things that you be like, really?
I'm coming. Remember that it's not always about likeness. Sometimes you need that opposing this for it to click. The guy might be,
but not so opposite that it is on the other side of the world. Like, in what planet did you see?
Oh, okay, well, let me answer book. Bookie said, I don't like matchmaking because one ends up having constant headaches, settling issues.
You see,
now
this is what I'm saying.
Let me address it.
Wait, before you address it, she said, she said something about oh God,
we should in-law. Misleading.
Yeah, no, the in-laws that lie because they are collecting money from you, so they will not tell you that their child is married. Meanwhile, you are coming there thinking that he's single. Then she said we should discuss in-law misleading women, thinking when the mother loves them, definitely the son will be committed to the relationship that will lead to marriage. Yes, some mothers will tie down a girl because they like the girl. Meanwhile, their son does not like the girl. But they are convincing this girl that, don't worry, Shebi is my son. He's going to marry you. Meanwhile, the guy has told the mother, I'm not interested.
Okay, let me quickly address. And now, please, Abi, what I'm going to say is based on my own real life experience. I'm not talking about somebody's textbook or research. Okay? What I found out is this. You are better off having somebody. You see, when I got married, they keep saying, I kept hearing funny things like, oh, when your wife have issues, keep it to yourself. Don't let anybody hear. Don't settle it. All the people who are divorced today, if you ask them, they'll tell you irreconcilable differences. You know what that means? The problem became too much for two of them to handle, and they had nobody to run to. So the implosion took place, and there was nobody that could settle anything, because right from day one, there was nobody even mentoring them. So that was it, case closed. Everybody find your way. Marriage is not a one-time thing, it's a lifetime journey. The fight must stay inside. You cannot escape it. There is going to be fight. Is that fight you keep fighting that binds you people up? I'm coming. You see,
argument.
Wait, no be argument. I need to put this thing straight, because people always get it wrong. People get it wrong. You are better off having somebody iron out issues for you, not anybody. Let it be somebody that is responsible to some extent. It could be your parents. It could be a pastor. It could be an elder. Okay, a cousin of mine met a girl and said, Ross, I want to marry this girl. I said, let me tell you what I interviewed him. I said, how long have you known the girl? I said, 6 months. And you want to marry? I said, yes. I said, okay, fine. People marry earlier than that. I said, does she have anybody in her family she respects well enough that can call her to order when she goes crazy? He said, is her pastor. I said, the pastor is not good enough. She can change churches. And she can change churches, and that's it. There's nothing binding her with that man. So who do you run to? He started thinking about it, and you see, we don't think about these things. We only think about, hey, the love is shocking us now.
Oh,
hey,
I'm in love.
Looking at me. Let's cook my food. No, those things don't matter when crisis come. When crisis come, the beauty fades, all the handsome looks, everything disappears. It's just pure hatred that will start building up. It really doesn't matter.
3 films in the last 2.5 days, and inside the 3 films, I've watched 3 separate films where the couple ended up saying, love isn't enough. So I love you, but love isn't enough. Ha! I'm like, love is not enough, okay?
The last show we did, I told you, can you remember 2 weeks ago? I told you specifically, love is not enough to keep marriage.
Oh my God, my heart, my sacred heart.
I'm serious now, behave now. You're making me laugh.
You're shattering all my expectations. You're making me look at this single life like
No. Abi, see, it is not anybody's fault. It's indoctrination. We were indoctrinated through Walt Disney cartoons and all these nonsense romantic comedies we've been watching growing up. Those things are not reality. They don't help marriages. They are not reality. And marriage is not about you.
Okay,
it's not about me. It's not about the man.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Bukri says, thanks, bro. You are right about knowing someone and trying to matchmake just because you think the person will be good to the other person with good intentions. But my sister is right, because you know someone doesn't mean the person is my taste or will fit into my personality. Yes, that's true. Yes, so because you know somebody, look me now, look me. At least if me and you are friends, you know, okay. Sorry, me and you, as we are, at least we've known each other since secondary school, right?
Yeah.
And we've known each other more as adults. Yes. At least there are certain things that there will be some men you will meet and you'll be like, no, I can't introduce this man to Abi because I know that it will not work. Right?
Yes.
And then there are some men that you look and say, okay, maybe, let's see. Which we had a situation like that. We did have one situation like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, that at least you have a certain idea of what Abi likes. But when you now go and the very thing that you know I don't like, you now bring it and now say, this is my friend, and I think the two of you will. I almost want to like come here, come.
Wait, no. Let's get something straight. You see, there's a reason. I tend not to, I'm very scripture, but I don't want to be bringing it into these discussions. But there's something I need you to understand. All these love are not meant to be developed before marriage. I keep saying these things. Old people did not do that. The people of the time past didn't do that. Do you understand? Love can only be tested when you and somebody you don't know, when you build it, you can build love to the point whereby you need to build that love to the point whereby you can lay your life for that person. That before they kill my wife, let them cut my neck. Oh, before I open my mouth and say that to an invader or an assailant, it means we've gone through a lot as husband and wife. We have, yes, been through the fire. We fought. We've done everything. Then at the end of the day, this bond comes in naturally. You don't do it intentional. It's not intentional. It just happens. I always say it's a divine way of arranging and sorting out things. Now, when you love somebody before marriage, you have infatuation. Girl, when you never marry, you know they kiss them, you know they sleep with them, you know they touch body, you know they enjoy everything where you know supposed watch, touch. Then all of a sudden you get into the marriage. You think that this romance is going to continue like that. Then all of a sudden, wait now, all of a sudden, that model figure wife starts losing shape. To start looking fat and round and everything. If you went into the marriage because of how she looked, or how she smiled, or how her teeth or her eyeballs were, what do you have to hold on to? Everything.
In fact, there's nothing that shatters a man's illusion about his woman than pregnancy. Hey, I have seen some of my pregnant friends. I'm like, huh? Like, I'm sorry, their nose will spread like Kushitia all over their face.
But if you have love, if you love that woman, you will not be considering all that. That's where I'm going to.
That's what I'm saying that. So, of course, a physical thing, looking at, I mean, physical is nice, but that is not what you base your wanting to be yoked with somebody with. Bukri says, in fact, you have a fan here. Bukri says, true love is not enough. You're right. Hey, God, my eye keeps getting. You're right about that, bro. Sometimes love will fade away, or in between marriage, and later on come back by hard work between both parties. And then she also said, bro, please express your mind. Then she said, sometimes it takes the grace of God for a marriage to conquer trials, which we cannot carry over in marriage. You're very, very right.
I was saying, you start, when you marry, from the day you marry, you have the honeymoon phase. That honeymoon phase, you're just continuing the kissy, huggy, cuddly, and all that. After like a year, reality sets in.
You don't even give us 1 year.
Wait, now we are talking about real life. Now we are not talking Walt Disney here. This is real life. Then, you left all these plates for me in the sink. Do you think I'm your robot? Fight, don't start. Madam, why did you leave the toothpaste cap open? Is this what you're supposed to be doing? You did not put petrol in the car that I gave you to drive. Fight starts, different fights. But remember one thing, it is not about you and Oga. It is about the kids and the families you married. It is not, marriage was never ever about you. Marriage is about loyalty, respect, and duty. Loyalty, respect, duty. Loyalty, respect, duty. It's not romance. Romance is an add-on. If you can stand on these 3 pillars alone, you will survive.
Romance.
I said it's an add-on. I didn't say it's not necessary. It's an add-on. Do you understand? Remember that everything you expect, your expectations as a result of what has been programmed into your head before the marriage. You didn't develop it naturally. It was programmed into your head. Our ancient mothers, they didn't have the privilege of watching romantic comedies where people kiss and stick their tongues in everybody's mouth, where movies that they were talking about sexual positions and sexual art. They didn't have the privilege of reading debauched comics.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm trying to nail it on the head. They didn't have that privilege, right? Then now all of a sudden, a woman goes with all this high, or a man goes into marriage with all this high, lustful expectation, porn expectation into marriage. Then come on, not be competition every night. One day you're not go tire. What else do you have to offer to yourselves? You're not go tire. Marriage love comes from this one is not coping. Let me help her. She's lacking in this. And then you help your wife. You carry her on this. Then your wife say, this is my husband. He knows how to speak English. He knows how to talk for public. Let me speak for him. Let me defend him. Then she defends him. Then the man say, this woman, she knows how to carry this weight. She's weak. Let me carry it for her. You see, when everybody is putting in his or her own quota for seemingly irrelevant things, you are building trust, you are building respect, you are building loyalty. And over kids, daddy, this baby woke up, nose was all over her nose. Let's rush her to hospital. Thank God, we nearly lost our child. Hey, God, we thank you, you saved our child. What are we going to do now? This boy was not in school. The two of you will now call the children, address the kids. You know, all those little things, they build relationships.
Miscarriages also. Miscarriages, and when financial problems come, those two, they shake marriages.
That is why it is important. If the woman is the high earner and something happens at work, it is I'm just reversing the role now. The man should be able to tell her it is okay. Like in my house, I'm the breadwinner. But sometimes when my wife works, she comes back with very serious issues. Like, see what happened. I was like, it's okay. In fact, she has nicknamed me Mr. It is fine. It is all right. The reason why I'm like that is that that's what my dad used to tell my mom while we were growing up. If anything terrible happens, like, it's okay. So my mom is always angry that, are you not feeling these things? Say, it's okay, calm down. So I grew up hearing my dad always saying that. So I tell it to her whenever something goes wrong. A time will come, those children will leave. The true romance comes when those children leave the nest. Only two of you now. Retirement money, cash, anything you want to do, you can kill yourselves. Nobody will be there. Although I know people who are willing to adopt more children.
Because they don't want to be alone.
In fact, this humility. Yeah. I had, okay, let me not say family members. I grew up knowing these people, they could not see eye to eye. Now fight. Neighborhood go gather. Every time they go gather. And basbos. If you try to separate them, now there you go turn to enemy. Who bring you inside this matter now? What's your business now? Now you won't put us under. You know that
they didn't like anybody coming in between to try and settle things. They physically fought each other.
But they irritated themselves, but somehow subconsciously they loved themselves. So by the time they got to their 40s, mid-40s, if the husband is not around, the wife will not eat. Or if the wife cooks and the husband will not eat. Because they are both hypertensive, they do their evening walks together, holding hands. Then everybody will say, I love this couple. Oh my God, I wish when I get married, I'll be like that. I'll say, sit down there. When you know how they came together? When you there from the beginning, it is endurance. It is not a race that you can just. Let me even tell you something. If you know you don't have the mindset of endurance, don't bother even going to marriage. It's that simple. Don't waste your time. If you know you're not going to endure, you're not going to be tolerant, you're not going to teach or learn, don't even waste your time involving. Marriage is not a competition. It's not a social requirement. You can do without being married, actually. So when you come in, you say that, when you are going into marriage, it's called submission. That's why they say submit. You are submitting to that man's will. Remember, know the man you are submitting to before you submit. Okay, so you don't come and that it's a drunk wife beater. Know him first. When you say that, okay, this is a stable-minded guy, and you decide to marriage is submission. Oh, that's the core meaning. Submission. Now, when you decide you want to submit that man, it is agreed that you are going to tolerate, you are going to bear, you are going to move in that journey. But if you know your spirit is not humble, you cannot take shit from anybody, please don't even bother. It's not going to work. If you know you are going to keep your feminists, I want feminist friends after marriage, don't. It's better you marry your feminist friends. Don't get married.
No, this is the thing. Feminism is. Now, because we've come to realize that feminism has two meanings. Feminism, the way I believe it is, equal opportunities for all of us, equal opportunities for all of us. So this, I don't want to be a man. I don't want to take over the role of a man, But I'm saying that if me and a man are working in the same place, he shouldn't be earning more than me because he's a man.
I think you guys have, I think feminists have to come up with a new word, because the feminism that is reigning now is the negative one, and they have majority of the clan in that one. This one you're talking about, there are about 5% of them that think the way you're thinking. The remaining 95% are with the ways. Like, they just believe women should dominate the world. Do you understand? And dominate marriages and all that. So I understand what feminism is: equal opportunity. You go to school together, you graduate together, you apply to the same job. Yeah, whoever is good promotes the person. It's about hard work. Who does the best to get rewarded? Okay.
Social, medical, every kind of facility for everybody. No gender.
Everybody.
Nobody getting anything better because
no.
one gender or the other.
Nobody should. However, in marriage, it's a different ball game. There must be order in the home.
I'm not married.
Okay, let me explain to you. I've seen places where they try to play a civil Western lifestyle. And my wife can take decisions because, oh, well, it sounds nice on paper, but when it gets to the nitty-gritty, you find out that these are where the problems are coming, because you ceded your powers, and when the things start turning upside down, fight starts.
I knew my feminist people were going to come out. Thank you, Jare.
No. See, I have good friends who are part of the 5% better feminist people. I'm against the mad ones. I'm not against the originators of the word. No, so let us not get mixed up.
I have seen people who are married who as in my Caucasian friends who've been married for donkeys, and the woman basically everything, she basically is the one who's running the house. Mr. Man is there, he does the, he makes her cup of tea, he's always like making some dinner, that kind of thing. When it comes, and there is no there's no fights, there's no argument, there's no anything.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want to sound racist. Which people do you think are the ones swallowing these schisms like wholeheartedly without analyzing it? Which of the races do you think they're just swallowing it? You just bring in. It is us, the black people. We don't even. We don't. When they say don't beat kids, don't hit your kids for training, the white guys are the ones who brought in the law to sell it to us. Privately, those white guys smack their kids, but they don't do it in public. They know how they handle their kids. But we will just come and just say, the law says we must not beat, your child can call you stupid and idiot, just leave her, you both know they beat the kid. Why are the white guys busy privately training these kids in a very strict way?
I don't know. Don't put me in trouble with this man. I don't know.
Wait. I'm trying to tell you how we swallow things. Now, even this feminism is not a black invention. Now, somebody somewhere in bring and come. It's not a black invention. The people who understand.
A patriarchal society. African society is mainly patriarchal.
You can see many white homes with that, like the man is not working, or the man decides to be a stay-at-home dad while the woman works and bring money. There's order. There's order and respect in the home. That is a pure case of a feminist woman who understands what she's supposed to do. Okay? Majority, I'm not saying all black women are like that, but majority of our own black women, the moment that kind of power falls into their hands, oh God, everybody must know. Everybody must know that they are around.
So is it a condition of our blackness?
I think they didn't expose this thing to us gradually. They just dumped it or not. Maybe if they were doing it in bits, okay, this stage 1 of feminism, stage 2 of feminism, stage 3, maybe if it came in bits, we might have understood it better. But just because they just dumped the whole thing on us, we are still trying to grapple
I
with.
I understand this very well, Sha, and I'm a feminist. I'm proudly one. So, but before we go on, happy Fash! Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming on. Maya, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming on. So I just want to see the notes that oh God, this thing is giving me a headache. So Booker says, your fan, she says, you're right. It's not about feminism. If a woman is not the patient kind of person, the ones that flare up easily during a misunderstanding, it will be hard for such women to submit, like you said. Bro, not that she does it intentionally. It's just her personality. That is where understanding comes in. So again, if you already know that the woman that you're with has a hot temper, and she's someone who flies off the handle, then I think that is where the whole thing about love language and personality and all that stuff comes in, because
endurance.
Then you understand that, okay, this is her temperament. She's not being like evil or whatever. She just has a temper, and you know what, I will walk away, let her be, and I'll come back and deal with,
No, a study shows that most women who be after their first pregnancy, not all women, a lot of, like, I was watching it, they say like 70% after their first pregnancy, they lean towards being bipolar. Okay? It is not natural. They lean towards being bipolar.
I'm already bipolar. What do we do with me?
Wait now. Let me land now. Let me land. They lean towards being bipolar, right? I think it's important that bipolar is not a Chris man thing. Like,
no,
everybody should understand what it means and how to manage it. If I know that somebody with me is bipolar, I should be able to understand that, okay, see, this woman flares up and she can switch at any time. I shouldn't be triggering the woman at every instance I have. I shouldn't be the one to trigger her, to make her go crazy. Do you get what I'm saying? That's when that understanding comes. I know that, oh, if I cross this line, that thing is going to switch, will kick in, and she'll run mad. So what do I do as a husband? I'm meant to, okay, when I see that we're raising our voices to a certain level, I'll be the one to say, okay, you know what, let's adjourn this meeting to another time, just to diffuse the tension. Shouting competition does not solve anything.
Abi says, that's not true stats. Bipolar care. Please, oh, because it means there's no hope for me. It means it's complete madness.
No. You know that there are many bipolar people moving around the street. They don't even know that they are bipolar.
So, okay. Me, I know.
I don't know. Because now something carry you go see doctor now where they can't diagnose you. How many people go to see for these things? Very few. A lot of people are going through depression. They don't even know they are depressed, but they still move on. They still live on. A lot of people are going through a lot of things. They don't even know. No diagnosis, nothing. They just keep moving. So you see, these are the issues we need to look at and see that, okay, nobody is really mad, but we need to get to the point where we should. That's why I said tolerance, duty, duty, respect, and loyalty. Duty, respect, loyalty. Very, very important in marriage. Duty, respect, loyalty. I keep hammering on it, because if you can just cling on to these three things, you should be able to survive it. There's nobody that is 100% bad. You can go into a marriage with a drunkard. The man eventually outgrows the drunkenness. You can go into a woman who likes sleeping around. Eventually, she'll just become mature. And then again, that's where maturity comes in. People like attaching age to maturity. Madam, not be so. Some people don't get mature till they're 50.
No, I have met many immature 50-year-olds, so please.
I'm just even saying that some people, they need a serious event. They need a serious, terrible event to occur in their lives for their brains to reset. Then they will know what maturity is all about. But until that happens, they say, this man is irresponsible, this woman is irresponsible. It is true, but just be patient. They will get there. Just a single event will change his course of lifestyle, the way he thinks, the way he perceives the world, the way he behaves. So I don't really see anybody as bad. That's why when you say matchmaking, those days they were really nothing to cause too much tension in the home. There was tension, but it's not the way we've made. Like, okay, see now you marry your husband, Jeje. Now you and your husband marry privately. Everything in your house now is going to be discussed by third parties outside. Everybody's now, Abi. Imagine we went out to a restaurant. Abi allowed the husband to be shouting at her in front of everybody. Can you imagine? Oh, see, they are emotionally abusing Abi. You were not thinking about it. The next thing, they'll come and introduce you to the meaning of emotional abuse. Abi, you know that thing they did to you? That you're not supposed to take it. Yes, we're not gonna take it.
Let's not lie. Me, I won't take any man shouting at me in public. Oh, you chop me.
I'm just giving you an example. It's not. I'm giving you an example. I know you now. I know you very well. That's why I use the example, because it's you. I know. So somebody who is close to you. So somebody who is close to you will feed on your ego. Your friends will feed on your ego. Like, you know what, Abi, the Abi I used to know. So you took it. Oh my goodness. You have really slept with sleep.
Now, wow, share for this marriage.
Abi, what is the world turning to? What is the world turning to? Now, a good friend will tell you that, Abi, what is going on in your home? Why did this guy shout at you like that? You will listen. The friend will listen to your own side of the story. If you are right, the person will say, okay, go and talk to him. Tell him that you don't like it. Or if you are wrong, your friend will tell you, Abi, you are wrong. That's a good friend. But we don't have good friends anymore from the outside. All friends do now is to put petrol inside what is already existing and create a big explosion. Again, I keep saying the marriage is not about you and the man. It's about the children and the community. If
but
you don't say
the couples that don't want children, that they go into a marriage saying, you know what, we're not interested in children, we just want to be together.
Fine, maybe they've had kids.
What if they've never had kids, but they're just not interested? You know, there are more people these days saying they don't want children.
Good. That's, if I like that definition, at least you come to an agreement before you go into what you are going to. I think it's fine if two of them, because it's not by force that you must give birth to kids. So if you agree from onset,
it's not by force.
No, it's not by force. You mustn't.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, imagine my mother watching this going.
Oh, mom is not for Abi. Mom is not for Abi. I'm just people know it is not for Abi.
You don't fear. Happy said, oh God, this thing is always, and my contacts are dry, so I'm struggling. She said, okay, abuse is abuse, whether the person knows it or not.
You missed the duty, respect, loyalty.
Okay, duty, respect, loyalty. She was agreeing with you on that. Then she said, abuse is abuse, whether the person being abused knows it or not. And then Hamad Balo, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us. We have been here almost 2 hours. I was thinking we were going to end in an hour, but this conversation is just extending and extending. So
when I'm here,
it will 1 hour. I knew once it was you that I was able to get up, like, oh God, we'll be here forever and a day. But okay, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up nice, because I don't want it to be too long. Then people will be like, now waiting.
Okay, let me summarize.
Abby said we must eat your jollof rice wedding party. We are not gonna chop nothing. So let's wrap it up. So obviously, for someone like me to recognize a married man who is not wearing his wedding ring, is that he will not even approach me. A responsible married man will not approach me. And if one is irresponsible and he approaches me and passes himself off as single, it is my job to investigate. To really investigate the person before committing my heart to that person. Then the other thing that we talked about was that, unfortunately, wedding rings are just a symbol. They do not mean anything. Because you're wearing a wedding ring does not stop you from doing what you want to do. So I need to get over my shock of someone with a wedding ring coming to approach me with the wedding ring on. I need to get over my shock with that. And, you know, again, trust, loyalty, and what was it again? What was the third one?
Haba. Something I repeated that many
I'm
times.
sorry, I'm having a headache. I'm struggling.
Duty, respect, and loyalty.
Yeah, duty, respect, loyalty. Those are the things that are needed in a relationship, not just marriage, but in a relationship.
No. I don't know. I'm not a relationship person. Marriage. I don't know what happens
Me,
in
I'm a
marriage.
relationship person. I'm not married, so I will start from there. Leave me alone. You have started. Leave me alone. And please, if you want to matchmake people, especially if you are thinking of matchmaking me, Biko, try at least remember a little bit about what I like, who I am. Don't just go and find some random rando off the streets and be like, oh, Abi, you're single, he's single. Here you go. Because I'll start slapping people now. Anyways, honestly, we could go on and on and on. You and I have sat and talked for 6 hours before. So I know that we can do this. But we're not going to do this on this platform because we don't want people to die. But honestly, Abby said be calming down.
No, don't mind her. Like this we dey go. This is how we go.
So anyways, I want to say thank you to you again. Honestly, every time you come, I learn so much. I really do learn a lot.
I learn from you.
Of course, we learn from each other, you know, and I love that you're quite balanced. You're a very scriptural person, but you also balance it out because you know that not everybody who watches the program is a scriptural person. So you balance it out even outside of scripture. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your time because I know that you're a very busy man. So thank you so much for sharing. And I want to say thank you to everyone who is watching, everyone who's contributed. This, I think, has been our most involved show since we've been doing this. I think this has been our most involved one. So if you have any topics you want us to talk about, again, it has to be something that I know at least 70-80%. I will not talk about something I don't know. So that's why when we're talking marriage, I usually keep quiet when he's talking because me no know nothing. Me not married. You know what I'm saying? But when we're talking relationships, you know, getting jiggy, getting down with the vibe, that's me. I know that one. You know what? Hey, that one me I know, but marriage he knows. So we have our places that we stay, right? So, but if you have anything that you want us to talk about, please put it on the page, send it to us, and we will look at it because we do have conversations. I have another person who's always a co-host. Unfortunately, I think his internet didn't allow him to be able to join, and that's Sean, who I call my bablo. And he's also married. So I'm the girl in the middle of two married men, and they always come and be oppressing me with this their marriage nonsense.
I think we're going to expand the platform.
And yes, we are going to, in fact, Ronald has been on my neck. We are going to expand the platform, whether I like it or not. And it's going to be going to YouTube very soon. So keep your eyes out for that. But honestly, thank you so much for watching. Truly, truly, truly appreciate those of you who are watching, getting involved, dropping comments, and just sending us loves and likes. Honestly, thank you so much. Until we do this again next week with a brand new topic, take care and God bless. Oh, before I go, Olarewaju, thank you so much for watching. You came towards the tail end, but thank you for watching. Well, thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care and God bless.
Bye.
Thank you.